First Sergeant Kip here with Company D, 2nd United States Sharpshooters, and today in the workshop, I'm addressing a fantastic question I got from one of our privates during our last event, and that is, can you oil your Civil War tent pins? And the answer is yes. But I thought about it pretty quickly and thought, well, I bet a lot of other people have this very same question because this private is known for asking fantastic questions. So I turned this tent pin on my spring pole lathe a number of years ago. This one's out of maple. But usually I just use my power lathe if I'm cranking them out. Turning tent pins is a great evening project if you have nothing else you really want to get invested into. But I usually keep a box on hand and I sell them unfinished because they were sold unfinished. But you can care for your gear any way you want. But also, Civil War soldiers also cared for their gear because you want these to last for a long time and make sure that they're protected. So obviously, you can take a plain tent pin that you can get from any number of settlers or make yourself and just use a classic finish like boiled linseed oil, for example, right? Because it's easy to reapply, it soaks into the materials, and it's really common during the time. But as you can see, I have my gloves on, so I'm leading to something. There is another type of finish that has quickly become my favorite that I came across through a great deal of historical research. One that doesn't get talked about very often. And I believe I wrote an article about it on our website at secondusss.com, and that is boat soup. Now, again, Company D is from the state of Maine, so maritime culture is a regular part of our knowledge and our culture during the Civil War. So what is boat soup? Boat soup is, recipes vary, but I make it equal parts boiled linseed oil, turpentine, and pine tar. And I personally love the smell of pine tar, and I kind of have it on everything, but you can get pine tar online. You can get it at most like Tractor Supplies or farm stores. I guess it's used for like horse hooves or something like that. I don't know about that, but that's usually where I get it, is like the horse section of the farm stores. And I just mix it together, and in the shop, I just have it in these little spray bottles because then it's really easy to apply. It does give you a slightly darker finish. But the nice thing about pine tar is that it's a tar. So not only do you get a lot more water resistance and durability, but it also is really good at resisting bugs and insects from harassing the wood. So now I pretty much use this stuff on all of my tool handles. I love the finish. It's really durable. And if it gets left outside, which I never do, but it can handle weather a lot better. Now, once I learned about that and I started digging, I'm really into axes. I split cords and cords of wood every single year, but I also noticed that when you go looking for axe handle wax or axe handle care items, you'll see a wax that looks mysteriously brown, like it has pine tar in it. So this is still like readily available and sold on places like Etsy. So people are still making it. So this is the solid form of boat soup. So I just take the same recipe and I mix it with beeswax. So once I have an item thoroughly soaked and coated, if I'm just sort of doing like a maintenance finish, or I'll rub this on like my axe heads and stuff like that if I'm going to store them outside, or if we're at an event and they'll be out in the moisture a little bit, I'll rub this on the steel too. And it's great for handles if you like wax finish on your handles. So what does this look like? So I chose this old maple pin that I had because it's a really light wood, so I figure it'll show up a little bit better. And if you've never like finished your tent pins and they're dirty and you want to after seeing this, just give them a sand or a scrub and go ahead and finish them however you like. So here's it coming out, and I'll usually just rub it in So any of you who are used to boiled linseed oil are going to be familiar with sort of the orangey yellow hue that it'll give. This one adds a little bit more brown to it, and it behaves the same way. The turpentine just helps thin the pine tar. It can be pretty thick. So then you can just add as many coats as you want to soak in your tent pins. This is a nice period finish that I've really enjoyed and would add a lot more durability and longevity to your tent pins. So I hope this finishing quick tip has been helpful and handy to you. If you are familiar with the pine tar finish, we'd love to hear about it down in the comments. Thanks as always for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and we'll catch you on the next one.